All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest changes happening in the business world, how the very idea of what it means to be an entrepreneur is being completely flipped on its head.
So, close your eyes for a second. When I say the word entrepreneur, what's the first image that pops into your mind? Is it some older person, maybe in a fancy suit, sitting in a big corporate office? Well, if that's what you're picturing, I've got some news for you. That image, it's totally out of date. Let's find out who's really building the future today.
So, first things first, let's talk about the people themselves. The actual founders behind some of today's coolest companies are probably not who you think they are. Check out this number, 24%. You know what that is? That's the percentage of people, basically your age, we're talking 18 to 24, who are right now starting or running their own new businesses. That's almost 1 out of every 4 people. And just to be clear, this isn't some small trend or a little blip on the radar. Nope. For the first time, well, ever, the youngest adult generation, your generation, is the single most entrepreneurial age group out there. You guys are literally leading the charge on this massive economic shift.
But the story doesn't end with age, not even close. We're also seeing this incredible transformation in an industry that, for a long time, was pretty much a boys' club.
I mean, just look at this. The difference between men and women starting new tech companies has shrunk down to just 1%. One! That's amazing. It means the doors to innovation are being thrown open wider than they have ever been before. And this new face of entrepreneurship, it isn't just about age or gender. It's also about a different kind of mindset. You know, studies are showing that Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs often report having higher confidence and, get this, a lower fear of failure. That kind of resilience, that's a superpower in business, and it's another huge piece of this whole puzzle.
Okay, so we know who is starting all these new businesses. But now let's get into the what and the how. What are they building, and how are they doing it? Because trust me, the rulebook has totally changed. And here is a really crucial point. For so many of these new founders, it's not just about making a profit anymore. It's about having a purpose. This generation is weaving sustainability and social good right into the DNA of their companies from day one, not just tacking it on as an afterthought.
Now, a huge reason this is all possible is the gig economy. And think bigger than just driving for a rideshare app. We're talking about being a freelance graphic designer, a streamer building a community online, or a creator making videos. It's this super flexible, low-risk way to just dip your toes in the water and start being your own boss.
And what happens when you get good at that? Well, a lot of people take the next step and become what's called a solopreneur. This is where you're not just doing random gigs, you're building a whole business, just you, all built around your specific skills, and you can do it from anywhere with pretty much just a laptop. This whole solopreneur movement has made a new strategy super popular. Think small, at least at first. Instead of the old way, meeting tons of investor cash and hiring a huge team, you can bootstrap. You start with what you have. This brings the risk way down and forces you to focus on the one thing that really matters at the beginning, getting actual customers and growing from there.
Okay, now let's zoom out a bit, because this shift isn't just happening in the US. It is a worldwide change in how people think, and India is probably one of the best examples of how technology is pouring fuel on this fire.
So, in just the last 10 years or so, India has grown to have the third largest startup ecosystem on the entire planet. And that incredible explosion is all thanks to a huge cultural shift, where starting your own thing is now seen as a really powerful, really cool career choice. This quote just says it all. I want you to picture this. You're in a tiny, remote village. You go to buy a cup of tea from a street vendor. You pull out some cash, and she just shakes her head and points to a QR code on her cart. That one tiny moment, it signals a massive leap forward. So how is that even possible? It's thanks to this public technology called the India Stack. It's brilliant, really. It's a 3-step ladder. Step 1, a digital ID for every citizen. Step 2, a bank account that's linked to it. And Step 3, a super simple way to make instant digital payments. This system basically plugged millions of small entrepreneurs into the modern economy almost overnight. It's a game changer.
All right, we've talked about who the new entrepreneurs are, what they're building, and how technology is changing everything around the world. So now let's bring it all home and talk about what this means for you.
So if you remember anything from this, remember this. The world of entrepreneurship looks a lot more like you than it ever has before. It's younger and way more diverse. Business is becoming more about purpose, not just paychecks. It's never been easier to just start small and try something out. And technology is evening the odds for everyone, everywhere.
All of the old barriers to entry, they're crumbling. The old playbook is being completely rewritten by people your age. The tools to build something amazing are more accessible than they have ever been. So the only real question left is, what problem are you going to solve?